everybody, and welcome to Museum Munchkins. I'm Mr. Nick, and today we are going to be talking all about chickens. And we're going to start off by singing a chicken song. If you want to stand up on your feet. All right, now this isn't the chicken dance, this is the chicken song. And while we sing our song today, we're going to be doing some different motions. So you can watch me and follow along with the motions at home. All right, so here we go. This is about a chicken who lays some eggs. So the very first thing our chicken's going to do is build a nest. So can we go like this and pretend we're building something? Very good. The hen she made a nest, the hen she made a nest, the hen she made a nest, so go hen go. Very good. And now she's going to, in her nest, she's gonna lay some eggs. So can we bend our knees like this, like we're laying some eggs? Then she laid some eggs, then she laid some eggs, then she laid some eggs, so go hen go. Very good. And now she's just gonna sit and wait. So we're gonna sit and wait. And we can cross our arms or we can look at the time because we have to wait so long on our nest. All right. The hen sat on those eggs, the hen sat on those eggs, the hen sat on those eggs, so go hen go. Very good. Oh, now can we make an egg with our hands? And we're going to make it start to crack open. Ready? An egg gets started to hatch, an egg gets started to hatch, an egg gets started to hatch, so go chick go. Now we have a baby chick. So let's start off really small, and then this time we're going to grow bigger. Are you ready? The chicken grew bigger, the chicken grew bigger, the chicken grew bigger, so go chick go. Now the chick became a rooster, the chick became a rooster, the chick became a rooster, cock-a-doodle-doo. Very good. Excellent job singing that song with me. I hope you were able to follow along with all those motions. I'm going to set my guitar down now so we can talk all about chickens. Have you ever seen a chicken before? Maybe you've eaten chicken before, but have you ever seen one? Maybe at a farm or at the zoo? Or maybe you're even someone who keeps pet chickens at home. So chickens are really interesting animals, and they're actually the most common bird on our entire planet. There's an estimated 24 billion chickens alive on our planet right now. That's a lot of chickens. So humans have actually been keeping and raising chickens for thousands and thousands of years. And we raise chickens to eat, but we also raise them to collect their eggs, and we can eat those. But some people also, like I said, keep chickens as pets just because they like them or they think they're pretty. But chickens can also be very calm, mellow birds, so people like that for that reason too. Now, all of the chickens that come from around the world are actually descended from a bird that lives in Southeast Asia called the red jungle fowl. It is a very beautiful bird. And in particular, most of the chickens that we have here in the United States are actually descended from red jungle fowl that lived in India. So we actually can trace back our chickens' ancestors thousands and thousands of years, which I think is really interesting. But these are beautiful birds. Chickens themselves are beautiful birds, but these animals that they came from, the red jungle fowl, are really beautiful as well, I think. Now, chickens are omnivores, just like us. So they like to eat lots of different types of food, a mixture of plants and other animals. So now they mostly eat seeds and insects. Those are the things that they really like to eat. But we've also seen chickens in the wild that eat lizards or little snakes or mice. So they'll eat lots of different types of food, but usually things that are really small. Those are the sorts of things that they like to eat. Now, just like a lot of birds, the chickens can look a bit different depending on if they're a boy or if they're a girl. So boys are called roosters, and they have very colorful feathers on their bodies. And on the top of their head, they have a red comb, and they have really long feathers on their tails. So they usually have these big bright colors on them. But the girls, called hens, are usually a lot more plainly colored, lots of browns or black color to their feathers, and that's to help them when they're sitting on their nest to stay still and hide from animals, hide from other animals. That those dark colored feathers help to protect them and help them to blend in with their surroundings. Not like the big brightly colored feathers of a rooster who doesn't need to hide in the grass and in other plants to help keep their eggs warm while they're sitting on their nest. Now, chickens love to spend time with other chickens, and they live together in flocks. A big group of chickens is called a flock. How many people live with you at your house? So that could be your flock that you live with at your house. We could call that your flock too. We usually use the word family, but you could call it your flock too. So the big group of the chickens that all live together are called a flock. And living together with a group can be really helpful. So that means that they can alert each other. If they sense danger or they see something dangerous, they can alert each other. They can also help to share their food that they find. That's another good bonus to living in a flock. But it also means there's a lot of mouths to feed if you live in a big flock. Now, if something dangerous is around, chickens can do something that we normally don't think about them doing is they can fly away. Now, chickens have pretty small wings compared to most other birds, and they can't fly for very long, but they can fly for just long enough to get away from most predators, and they will fly if they feel scared or threatened by something. Now, chickens, probably one of the things chickens are best known for is laying lots of eggs, and they lay their eggs in big nests. And funny enough, chickens love to make their nests and lay their eggs around other chickens, and sometimes even in the same nest as other chickens. They make like a big giant nest that lots of chickens might all lay their eggs in, and they like to lay their eggs particularly in nests that already have eggs in them. So sometimes chickens will steal eggs from another nest to put in their own nest that they just built, so they can lay their eggs along with that other egg. And actually, farmers know that chickens love to do this, so farmers will also slip in fake eggs into the nests of their chickens, so their chickens have an egg in their nest already to lay their own eggs every day. Now, it takes about, when a chicken lays an egg, it takes about 21 days or 3 weeks for a new chick to hatch out of that egg. And when it's time to hatch, the chicks will peck a little teeny tiny hole in their eggshell from the inside. They have an extra little bump on their beak when they're first born that helps them to peck through the outside of that eggshell. So it could be a really hard work, though, to do that. So as soon as they peck that extra little breathing hole in their eggshell, then they will take a break for a few hours and rest before they get back to trying to break off the rest of that shell, because getting that first little hole is one of the hardest parts for the baby chicks. So then they will peck around that hole and make an even bigger hole for them to pop out of the bottom of their eggs and free themselves from those eggs. And their mothers, once they're hatched, their mothers are very, very good at protecting them. In fact, some hens have even been shown to fight off hawks and foxes that come looking for something to eat in their nests. So chickens are very, very good parents. Now, chickens are pretty interesting animals, but now I think that it's time for us to take a chicken break and read a story about some chickens. What do you think? All right, let's go check out our chicken story. All right, today's story is Chicken Break by Kate Berry and illustrated by Charlotte Adler. One chicken standing guard, 2 chickens out in the yard. 3 chickens hatched the plan, 4 chickens on the lamb. 5 chickens tippy-toe, 6 chickens incognito. 7 chickens smuggle the code, 8 chickens press upload. 9 chickens man the gate, 10 chickens peck and wait. Chickens make a chicken break. Wow, look at all those things the chickens are doing. They went and got pretzels, and they went shopping, and they went ice skating, and to the theater. 10 chickens droop and drag. 9 chickens hail a cab. 8 and 7 squish inside. Up on top, 6 now ride. 5 chickens launch jetpacks. 4 chickens zipline back. 3 tunnel underground. 2 chickens skydive down. 1 chicken leads the flock, tiptoes up, pecks the lock. Chickens waddle to the coop, shushing, clucking, one last poop. Huddle tighter, big tail shake, chickens take a chicken break. The end. Oh my gosh, that was such a fun story about all those different little chickens taking a break from the farm. And so now today we're going to make a little chicken craft using just a few things. So we've got a paper plate here. I've got a piece of yellow construction paper, a piece of red construction paper, a glue stick, some scissors, and a marker. And the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm going to take the red paper and I'm going to trace around my hand. You might be wondering, why are we tracing around our hands? I thought we were making chickens. Well, we are gonna make some chickens. But first, to do that, I need a tracing of my hand. There we go. So I traced all the way around the outside of my hand, like this, and now I need to cut it out. I'm actually gonna cut just a little bit inside the line that I drew, like this. And what this is gonna be is, we're making some roosters. So this is gonna be the rooster's comb on the top of its head that I'm using my hand to make. There we go, so I've got my hand now. And now I'm gonna take my red paper still actually, and I'm gonna cut. Chickens kind of have these extra little flaps of skin around their beaks. So I'm also gonna cut out a heart shape using my red paper. All right, now I'm going to take my yellow paper, fold our paper in half like this, and I'm going to, on this edge here, I'm going to cut up like this, and then I'm going to cut up like this so that the edge, that bend I have, is still there. And now I can make it kind of like a 3D chicken. That'll be pretty cool, I think. So now I've got my little beak here, and so I'm going to take my paper plate and my hand, and let's put some glue. I just need some glue on the bottom of my hand that I've cut out here. Because I don't need to glue the whole hand to my plate. I just need to glue the bottom of it. There you go. Let's stick that on the top of my chicken head. My paper plate chicken head. There we go. And now I'm going to take some glue and I'm going to glue on this heart shape, the wattles around my chicken beak. I'm going to glue that kind of right there. And now I'm going to glue on my chicken beak. I'm going to put just a little bit of glue right on this sort of middle part here. So I bent the back of the bottom, one side of it, I bent in half just a little bit. So now I have this little line there like that. And so now I can stick that on the middle of my plate like this. And now look, I've got a little bit of a chicken. I've got my chicken's beak there too. And now I can take my marker and give this chicken some eyes. I'm going to draw one circle there. And one circle there. Give my chicken some eyeballs. And there we go. I've got my little chicken now. So I hope you guys had fun today learning all about chickens. And I hope you have some fun making some cool chickens like this at home too. You could then make all sorts of different chickens or give them all sorts of different faces. Maybe you could give them some really happy or angry eyebrows, whatever you want to do. So we've got these chickens. I hope you had fun today, and I hope that you join us next week for another episode of Museum Munchkins. Thanks for joining us.